Hey everyone, how are you guys? I hope that my skin is not as red as I think, because yesterday I've been at the seaside and you know when you go to the seaside you risk to have your skin burning, and mine is burning like hell at the moment. So, burning skin apart, I was missing, you know, actually talking and telling stories and making this kind of talking heads videos. So here it is, a new talking head videos by me, a new talking head video because it's only one. But there will be other ones in the future, I promise. So today we're talking about the latest camera that I bought for exactly 14 euros. 14, like this and this. Yeah, in this world of super expensive gear and lenses and gear and cameras and everything, I bought a 14 euros camera. But this is not a normal ultra cheap camera, because it has some good points that we'll see. And I'm talking about the Lumix Fs3, a camera by Panasonic from 2008 that in 2021 still has something to say, in my opinion. Right now I'll give you some specs and then explain which are my favorite points about the Lumix Fs3, of course. So, this is an 8 megapixel camera with a 1 to 2.5 inches CCD sensor. Being a compact camera, of course, the zoom lens isn't interchangeable, but it's a Leica lens that goes from 33mm to 100mm in full frame terms, full frame equivalent, and the aperture goes from 2.8 f2.8 to f5.1. There's even an internal storage which allows you to shoot without an SD card, but it's like 40 megabytes, something like that, or maybe 30, or maybe even less, so that you know, you can shoot without an SD card, but the space is not that much. And the camera itself weighs something like 160 grams, so it's very light, tiny and light. So in general, why do I like it? First, the CCD sensor, and for those who don't know the difference between CCD and CMOS sensor, I don't know it either. I only know that CCD sensors were more expensive to install on cameras, and that's why most cameras from the latest years are sporting a CMOS sensor. They work in slightly different ways, and from the tests that I saw, in my opinion, the CCD sensor gives more dynamic range and a more filmic look to the image. So yeah, for my photography style it's a very good point. Second, the Leica lens, and this doesn't mean anything actually, because the lens we're talking about is nothing more than a standard zoom lens, like a kit lens, so that you know, but it's the first thing by Leica that I own, so you know, having something by Leica, something like that, you already know. But jokes apart, the pictures look sharp and full of details, so I think that after all, the lens is not that bad, and it's Leica, you know. Third point, dimensions and weight. As I already told you, the weight is like 160 grams, so it's very light, and the dimension, you can easily fit the camera in skinny jeans pockets, so, and you save some space for a lighter or something else if you don't smoke. Maybe not the keys are not a good idea with the camera, you know, you can scratch, something like that. All of this to say that it's tiny and light, and it's perfect for going around and taking it with you. Fourth point, internal flash. That is always good to have in a camera like this. And then auto exposure settings, in which you can literally set how much you want your picture to be overexposed or underexposed. Fifth point, general image quality that honestly I really didn't expect. That's why I decided to treat the pictures taken with this camera not like tests, but like actual photos of mine, you know, like part of my body of work, something like that. Yeah, like the ones that you can find on my Instagram account or on my website. And as I told you before, I even edited them with my own presets to see if they could possibly fit into my body of work that is, I don't know, created with more professional gear. This camera shoots videos as well, and I bet that you didn't expect it, but only at 30 fps with a maximum quality that is far below normal HD, so it's something like 848 per 480, something like that. Yeah, kind of. And the only things that I like about these videos, the videos that I shot with this camera, are the auto exposure, that is not bad at all, and the stabilization actually. And last thing that I like about this camera is the battery life, that is good, honestly. It's not that bad. No, it's good, yeah. So, would I recommend this camera to you? Well, it's a tough one. If you want to get this kind of look, wasting low to zero money, and you feel like you really need something very cheap to carry around when you don't want to carry around your super expensive photography stuff, then yes. But in general, obviously, this camera comes with a huge set of limitations, starting from the sensor's dimension, that is you know, it's very, very little. And as soon as the sun goes down, it allows very little use, honestly. And always talking about the sensor's dimension, you have to forget about shallow depth of field and stuff like this. So this is a super cool tourist camera for me, even though in 2021, you know, at the moment nowadays, there's a huge market for advanced compact cameras. Let's just think about the Ricoh GR series, the Fuji X100 series, the Sony RX100, the Lumix LX100, they all have this 100 thing in common. But obviously none of these cameras are as cheap as the Lumix Fs3, and the difference in price is very huge, because I got it for 14 euros, but you can find it on eBay, for example, for 20-25 euros maximum. And the other cameras that I mentioned, like the older models, start from 250 euros and going on and counting. So in general, I think that this camera is very good for what I'm planning to do with it. So just slide it into my pockets, and you know, whenever I'm going out, without thinking of making a real photo shoot or a photo shoot of any sort, so that I'm going out, I'm not planning to do any photography, just slide it into the pocket and like this. And this is something that obviously I can't do with my other photography gear. Plus, I love experimenting with simpler gear, and you know, just to see what can be done with something that is considered, I don't know, cheap or simple or easy to use, extremely easy to use and stuff like this, because I'm starting to hate, you know, photographers that are always obsessed about having this new gear and spending this amount of money and being professional, and especially looking professional to other people and stuff like this. I prefer using, I don't know, simpler things and creating masterpieces. Because photography is first of all art, and its quality is not in the EXIF data, it's actually inside the picture, in its meaning, its importance, and its composition, and in its entirety. I don't know, it's not in just in computer data, you know. And shooting with something like this, this, hoping that it's in focus. Okay, it's in focus. Surely helps you understand this concept, in my opinion. So I hope you liked this video, guys, and you know, if you had the chance to use this camera, or if you partially agree with the reasons behind this purchase, just let me know it in the comments. And if you want to have my channel growing, just leave a like, a comment, or I don't know, share it with your photography friends. And see you in the next video, guys.